My grandpa had a saying. He was like, get all your problems and put them on the table. Somebody's going to come by and steal your problems and lead theirs. And you're going to beg for your problems back.
Welcome back to the Bad Beat Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Eisenstadt. Today we got Yowda in the building. Yowda, thank you for coming out, man. I appreciate you for joining me.
No doubt, man. Thanks for having me.
We're going to talk a little bit about your story and kind of how you got through everything and where you are now. From my understanding, you spent some time locked up in prison. Can you dive into that a little bit and what got you into prison and what it was like inside of?
Man, jail just in general. I was going back and forth to jail since I've been like 13, 14. So as a kid, it was just like kind of the thing that was going on, or you could say the thing to do, because it kind of felt like, when you came home from jail, you was kind of celebrated, you know what I'm saying, as a kid. So I kind of got numb to the situation.
When you came home from jail, you got celebrated as a kid? What do you mean?
Yeah, like, you go to jail, you get out, the homies just like, hey, you know what I'm saying, he just got out of jail, you know what I'm saying? And people think it's cool. So it's kind of, which it ain't, but it kind of made me numb to it, so I didn't feel like it was anything wrong. I just thought it was part of life.
But why do you think it was like that, though? Why do you think that when do you think it's just like the surroundings, the neighborhood, the people? Like,
for sure. It's like you went in there, you held your own, you did what you had to do, and you came out. You know what I'm saying? It's like I went to war real quick, and I survived it, and I came home.
Was it when it was juvie back then, though, right?
Yeah.
It was a lot different in juvie than it was.
Yeah, but I mean, It's like they're programming you for the big league. You know what I'm saying? It's like Pop Warner. You go to Pop Warner football, they're training you for high school. High school, they get you ready for college. College, they get you ready for the pros. It's kind of the same thing in the system.
Okay. So how long were you locked up when you were
a juvenile?
Yeah. Or you were just in and out?
Yeah, I was in and out. I think I did like 6 months and 2 9 months.
Damn.
Yeah.
And this was all before you were 18, obviously.
Yeah.
Were you still going to high school?
Well, I went to high school, and I actually graduated inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They have like GED programs or something, right?
Yeah, but I had a diploma.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because you're still a kid, so you got to go through the regular school system time, kind of. You still got to take the same test, same requirements and everything.
Damn.
It's just locked up.
I don't even got my diploma, bro.
Yeah, I got a high school diploma.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've never needed it, though. Have you ever actually needed it?
Well, I needed it in there because it took off a couple months.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. If you got your high school diploma, it took off a little bit of your time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Well, so, that was like, I want that.
So was there like a giant gap between like juvie and prison where you were kind of staying out of trouble?
No, it was a gap between me going, but it wasn't a giant gap of me staying out of trouble.
What do you mean?
Because once I got to like maybe 16, 17, I realized if I had some money, it was easier for me to stay out, like with lawyers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, I started playing the game like how it was supposed to be played, I guess you could say.
What do you mean?
I started playing like the money I was hustling for and using, I was ended up giving it to the lawyer so I could stay out of jail.
And how are you making money?
Selling dope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, what's that saying? Fast money never lasts or something?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't. The majority of money I've made, I've spent back into the system. Like, for sure. I've spent a lot of money on.
So you were hustling to just pay to stay out?
Basically, that's what it seemed like.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, I had cars, jewelry, stuff like that. I was having fun with life, but then at the end of the day, when it got time to have to pay that bill, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we need $20,000 for this. It's like, fuck. Then the lawyer might ask you need another $5,000 for this. It's like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? So.
Were you expecting it though? Like,
no,
was it like
you're not expecting it, but at the end of the day, that's what is going on.
I'm saying, like, were you consistently expecting to have to pay those, like,
well,
like in the back of the mind, like in the back of your mind when you're consistently hustling and pushing drugs or whatever it was, were you just like, fuck, I owe, like for me, in my businesses, I always have overhead, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I have to earn X amount a day or X amount a month to cover my expenses.
Well, yeah, I wasn't thinking about it like that.
No, okay.
Nah, but it just, when it came down to it, it's like, okay, damn, I just caught a case. Because nobody expects to get caught. It was kind of hard for me to get out of that. I had to really like train myself to get out of that.
What do you mean? Like, how
did
you?
Lifestyle in general.
Okay.
Like, I've never filled out a job application before.
No?
No.
Never?
Never. I've never had a job before.
So you never built out like a resume or anything?
No, hell no. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Damn. So up until you went to prison, it was just like hustling and selling drugs and or whatever?
Drugs. I actually went to prison for, my federal bid was for distribution of weapons. And that happened because we were going to Arizona to buy coke at the time. And the guys we were buying coke from, they didn't speak that much English or whatever. So we were going down to Arizona and they seen a gun on my homeboy's hip. So he was like, hey, can you give me some of those? I was like, yeah. So he was like, you give me some of those, I'll give you this. So I was like, what? So, we went home and bought as many guns as we could, then took him back to the SA, and he gave us coke. He ended up giving me and my homeboy like a brick or something like that. And it was like 4 times as much money as we spent. So now we just going back and forth, grabbing the guns, taking them to him. He giving us coke for him. I'm taking them back to like my older homeboys who got a lot of money and selling it to them for cheap. You know what I'm saying? So that's how.
So you weren't even actually buying it. You were just bartering.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
But so you originally went out there just to buy the coke.
We went out there to buy the coke, but once that situation arose, then it was like, we might as well buy the guns. And then he was giving us a list, after
what he wanted.
Started giving us what he wanted. So I'd come back out here and, get the guns and then take them back out there to it was a border town called Nogales we were going to.
Dude, I just can't, it's hard for me to imagine. I'm sure a lot of other people will resonate with you, and a lot of other people won't be able to kind of imagine like the mind space that you had to be in while driving and worrying about guns or coke or like.
Well, I would always get a female to drive it. I'd get a female to drive it. So I'd get a female to drive it. And, with the females, it was like kind of their time to like spend time with me. So I manipulate the situation. So I'd be like, hey, you want to come out of town with me? Yeah. Okay, I need you to drive this for me. Okay.
They didn't know?
Well, they knew because, they see us put in the car. But, at that time, I'm 18, 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? They don't care.
You're only 18, 19 years old at this time?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, so how did you get so involved, like so deep into this stuff at such a young age, though?
Well, like I said, going out there because I had a buddy, my older homeboy, he was going out there buying coke, and he was saying it was cheaper when you go out there. So me and my guy that I run with, you know what I mean, I was like, let's go. He was like, bet. And that was my dude. Like, we was like going everywhere together doing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Did it start as like a recreational thing, though? Like you were maybe like partying, doing some coke, or was it just purely just like you were trying to make money?
Make money, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, well, so obviously you ended up getting caught, right?
Well, yeah, the guys we were dealing with were part of the cartel.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No, but I mean, at that time, when I had other stuff going on, I wasn't really, hip like that I was supposed to be. So it was just some Mexicans who barely spoke English. In the border town we were going to, because we were going out there trying to get that old brickweed, too, at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wasn't tripping. And then once the Fed situation came around, it was kind of like, damn.
How did you get caught?
They got caught.
And you got brought into it?
So, yeah. But they knew, the Feds know what's going on, so they knew what was going on.
Oh, so you guys were like getting watched and stuff.
Nah, they couldn't, but they still charged us for the distribution of weapons.
Okay, so break down to me like what it was like when you got caught. Like what were you doing? Where were you at? And then
I was really just chilling, and ATF came to my mom's house.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, my mom and my grandpa were there, and ATF came looking for me. And I'm like, dude, whatever. I wasn't really tripping at the time, and then I got pulled over, and they said I had a warrant. So I was like, all right. I went to jail, and then I had an ATF hold.
Oh, so you were already in jail, and then they kind of pulled up that case.
No, they were looking for me for that case.
Oh,
That's
gotcha.
why I had a warrant. You know what I'm saying? I had an ATF hold. So when they pulled me over for a regular traffic violation, it was like, you have an ATF warrant. I'm like, what? What the fuck is that? So when I went in, then everything kind of came together.
Where were you? So, okay, you went to prison. Where were you in prison?
I was in Lompoc, California.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was that your first time being in like an actual prison versus juvie?
It was the first. No, I had been in the state, but it was my first time being in like a real maximum security prison.
What's the difference?
Life or death.
Really?
Yeah. The first day I got there, seeing somebody get stabbed. Like,
Your first day?
Yeah. It was the majority of the guys in there had at least 20 years or more.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
So they just don't fucking care.
Yeah, they don't. Prison was probably the most respectful place I've ever been in my life.
Why?
Because any altercation is like life threatening. So everybody's real respectful. You know what I mean? Like when guys come home from prison and you see they trip out sometimes and beat people up and stuff, it's because they're in there in a place where everything is so respectful. If I accidentally nudge you or bump you, it's like, oh, excuse me, man. You know what I'm saying? People in prison are really, really respectful. Yeah, because every altercation is death. Like you're gonna go to the death on that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're gonna argue. People don't argue in prison really. It's not like we're gonna fight. People are gonna pull out knives when they fight. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real.
So every time there's a fight, at least for the majority,
somebody's trying to kill somebody. I mean, you're in a max prison. If I got life in prison, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? So people are real respectful. Like somebody bumps like people. So people are like really, really respectful, and whoever you're running with, like, is gonna make sure you're respectful at all times. Because if they kill you, we got to kill them, and then it's a riot. And we get locked down. Nobody wants to be locked down. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
So your first day in, you see some dude get stabbed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just like, what the fuck? And then Lompoc, the max facility, it looks like an old broke down castle. It used to be like it was like some kind of conservation place or whatever for like people in like the 1914 or something like that during one of the World Wars or some shit. It was crazy, yeah.
So
just the outside of it looked crazy. When you think about the feds, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, lounging because I'm on the bus and they're dropping people off. So they're dropping people off. I'm like, look at he's going to a camp. The gate is, I can reach over the gate. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, all right. They call everybody's name but mine. I'm like, damn, where I'm going? They go to another spot. It looks more like a jail, a facility. It's like, oh, but it's still cool. Then we get to mine. I'm like, the fuck is that? Like, it looks like an old castle or some shit. If you ever get a chance, look up the front of it. So we pull up there, and they're like, you, come on. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's up with all them other stops you were supposed to make?
Yeah.
Man? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was that.
Was there a lot of like anxiety though?
I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? Of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially being like in California. There's a lot of gang politics, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So me being from like the place they sent me at the time, Lompoc was like the place for all the violent offenders that were in federal prison. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of gang activity in there. It was a lot of basically politics from all races. You know what I mean? Like all of them. So.
When you are going into prison or in the beginning stages of prison, are you just like only focused on getting out or just staying alive like day by day? Like, is it just living day by day or are you trying to stay focused on?
Day by day. I mean, first you get in there and then, they ask you where you're from, where's your paperwork, stuff like that. And then
what does that mean? Where's the other prisoners are asking you for your paperwork?
Yeah, they want to know if you snitched or not.
Is there like actual papers?
Yeah, like your court papers.
Oh, you have those with you?
At that time they did. They don't do it anymore, but I mean it's easy to pull up like people's PSIs and stuff like that, or your plea agreements, stuff like that. So
as soon as you get in, they're checking you for who you are.
Like when I first walked in, I got my stuff, and then they sent me into the unit. Actually, he ended up being my cellmate and like a real like big brother to me. God, his name was Vernon. Big V, we called him. He walked up to me and he was like, "Where you from?" And I told him. He was like, "Where's your paperwork?" And I was like, "Well, I got this." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was all right. Come with me. You hungry? And at first I'm like, I know the ins and outs. You're not supposed to take no food or nothing from nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Like skeptical.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, but he was really trying to look out. You know what I'm saying? He ended up being a real like big brother to me, like a mentor.
Damn.
Like seriously, he really changed my way of thinking about a lot of things. But he was also a shot caller too at the same time.
Was that just like luck? Like you feel like you got lucky by? I'm assuming that was your cellmate, right?
Well, no. At first they put me in a cell with somebody else, and he was like, "Man, me and you gonna be in the cell together." So I'm like, "All right." So he came into the cell one day, and he told the dude, he was like, "Hey, man, I'm finna be in the cell with my homeboy. You got to move out of here." And the guy was like, "Man, I don't want to move." And he was like, "Nah, you gonna move up out of here." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, "Man, I don't want to." So like the next unlock, Vern came back up in there, and he was like, "Hey, man, I just told you I wanted to be in there with my homeboy." and I don't want to be in the cell with you, and I want to be in this cell. You go down there and tell the police that you want to move out of this cell, or you just gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? And the dude was like, all right. He was like, man, this is why I can't wait to get out of here. He was kind of, you know, I was like, damn. So this is my first week in prison. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but I know you're obviously like in prison, but at least like the way I see it is you meet somebody that's obviously welcoming you in, right?
He is, but at the same time, I'm still skeptical. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't know this guy.
Week. Yeah, I don't really know him. And then, like, he just pressed this dude, and people are like, you know what I'm saying? Evidently, he has some kind of backing or something. I'm not really understanding everything that's going on at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and dude moved. He moved in the cell with me, and then, like, we just got along. I don't know. It was a blessed situation in a way. You
said we called him Big V, right?
Yeah, we called him Big V. That was his name.
Is he not around or something?
No, he's still
he is. Yeah. Oh, okay.
He actually did 30. He did 35 years.
Is he done?
No,
is he out?
I mean, yeah, he just got out maybe like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
He did 35 years total. He got locked up when he was 18 years old and did 35 straight years.
And so you were, what'd you say? You were in there for 5 years?
Yeah.
Were you with him the entire time?
Yeah. Except for like the last like maybe year, he got transferred to a different place.
You still talk to him?
Yeah, it's my homeboy.
Oh, really?
He's my big bro. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
I talked to him even when I got out, because I got out, of course, a lot
sooner than he did.
Yeah, and then I kept in contact. I keep in contact with everybody. Everybody that I was in prison with, I keep in contact with.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you? I'm assuming they're obviously not in the same like industry as you, or maybe some of them are. What's that?
The guys that got out of prison?
Yeah, the guys that were in prison. Like I'm talking about as far as like rapping and stuff like that. You know, the music industry. Do you still look up to a lot of them, and do some of them look up to you? Like, is there that like mentorship between you guys?
I just got one of my homies I was in there with. His name is Ken Dog, right? He was from Compton, and he was just in there because when I was in there, I was rapping. Like I used to rap and stuff, being on the tables, the walls, and stuff like that. So everybody like fucked with me because of that. You know, there's like, man, when you get out, you better do something. You better do something. And a lot of them dudes tell me like over phone calls, or when they get out or whatever, and people get out from being in there. Some people don't even know me. It was like, man, I was in the feds, and they was talking about you like crazy. Like you was the one that got out and really did what you said you was gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That's so cool.
A lot of people like I had a dude named Slow Motion out of Oakland. He just got out. He's like a Bay Area legend as far as like drug dealers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He had did like 28 years or something like that. Like he's out right now. Like people would think he's like, you know, he's just one of the biggest things out there right now. He called me all the time, like, man, I'm so proud of you for doing that.
That's gotta feel so good, though.
Yeah, it does.
Right? And all these other people that are out, obviously, that you were in prison with, I'm assuming they're doing much better.
Well, yeah. Some of them do. Some of them went back. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, after doing all that time, a lot of people are institutionalized.
What do you mean? Like they just can't live out in like the normal world?
Yeah, like it. I'm not gonna lie. Even for me, it took a lot, and to this day, like I still have some things that I need to work on because of me being in jail for so long.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's a lot that changes your mentality and changes the way you live. It gives you a lot of structure, but it gives you kind of I'd say a warrior mentality.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because you're always looking out for something happening, and you have to be always ready for something to go on.
Yeah, like I mean, waking up every morning feeling like you might have to fight for your life today.
Yeah, you never know. Like, and the thing about it is, whatever group you're associated with, if like they fight, you have to get into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like say, or even like say, if
even if you like don't really fuck with people, you still have to.
Well, no, if they're part of your car or whatever, yeah, you got to. It doesn't matter. Like if they're part of your group, like if they go, you have to go, or if not, you're gonna get fucked up by them. You know what I'm saying? Like even with the race thing, it could be like some dudes you're not even in the same gang with or affiliated with, but because we're black and we get into it with the Mexicans or the whites, you have to go. Then if there's a situation with the police, then it's like they can make it separated, or sometimes with the police it's like, okay, everybody has to go.
I feel like that's built a lot of loyalty for. It's taught you how to. I'm not saying that you didn't before, but I'm saying it's taught you how to have a lot of loyalty for the people on the outside world. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Does that make sense? Like,
no, for sure, because like That's one of my biggest. I say that's one of the biggest things I need to work on a lot is not expecting how I am for other people to act like I am. Sometimes, like, if I'm loyal to a certain point, I expect you to do it too. I shouldn't have to tell you to act like this because we're men and this is what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't cut like that. So a lot of time my homeboys be like, hey, man, you can't expect you out of everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that too. As far as like, and it's a little bit different, but like the phone calls and stuff, you know, calling to check on our people.
Yeah.
Like I'm the person that calls all my friends almost every morning and just checking, seeing how you're doing. Sounds like you do that quite a bit too.
Yeah.
But we don't get it back, you know what I mean? And trying to understand that not everybody's the same, they didn't go through that same shit.
Some things you just can't take personal, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like shit, if somebody answer the phone and text me back, then it's, we good. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't take it like that, but.
Did you used to take shit personal and just had to learn not to?
Yeah.
When you were locked up?
Yeah. Well, that and being on the street, I had to learn that. I mean, I'm still learning sometimes to this day. That's something hard to do, like not take things personal because people are like, it's business, don't take it personal. Well, it's like, I only want to do business with people that I'm personal with. I don't want to do business with somebody I'm not personal with. You know what I'm saying? I want to do business with people I can trust. I want to do business with my friends. I want to do business with my homeboys. I don't want to do business with somebody I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
I feel more comfortable doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, building those relationships that actually matter.
Yeah.
And then helping the other people that are around you.
It's like I'd rather pay my homeboy than pay some stranger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but some people are kind of backwards with that. They'd be like, oh, that's my homie. I shouldn't have to give him that, which I think is weird as fuck.
You mean like trying to get a deal or something?
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't mind seeing my partners get money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So if there's a situation somebody can have, I don't want in the middle of that. Like, that's not what I do. Like, if you do this, all right, you do this. Not, okay, he gonna charge this, let me put something on it or something like that. I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
It's not my job.
No, I agree with you, man, 100%. What do you think is, like, the thing that has kept you out? Like, as far as mentality-wise? Is it like finding your passion inside of music? Or was it like the new surroundings?
And that is no bitches in jail. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that. I like bitches in cars, man. So there was none of those in jail. But just everything happens for a reason, man. Being in there, seeing them fools with all that time, like even my homie, like that 35 years he went in at 18. Like, when he got out of jail, he still had money left. You know what I'm saying? That's how much money he was getting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like, yeah,
really?
He had money left still. And just the things he appreciated, and it made me not be so entitled. I think people are so entitled right now that it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, we as human beings, we're really entitled. Like, people who will complain about everything.
Yeah.
Like, when I ask somebody, like, how's your day going? And they say, oh, it's all right. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I always be like, why? What's wrong?
Yep.
And they'd be like, oh, I don't know, I just had an all right day. And it's like, no, motherfucker, like, your day is great. You woke up. You was able to do what you had to do. If you had a problem, it didn't kill you. The day's great. You know what I'm saying? And people, we're really entitled, man, as people, and don't appreciate what we have. Because no matter what, my grandpa had a saying. He was like, get all your problems and put them on the table. Somebody's going to come by and steal your problems and lead theirs. And you're going to beg for your problems back.
Damn.
And it's
I
true.
never thought of something like that.
Well, it's true because you got to think, like, whatever went wrong with you today in your life, there's somebody out there that had something worse. Always. You know what I'm saying? Like say even like, I don't know, say if a parent dies. Okay, you had a parent that dies, but some people didn't even have a chance to have a parent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could always be worse.
You got lucky to have that, you know what I'm saying? Some people's, it's just, it can always be worse. I know that's kind of deep and harsh, but like it can always be worse. Sometimes like, oh, you got memories of that person. You learned something from that person. That person was put in your life and they made an impact. Some people were born and just threw an adoption home and never had nothing.
Yeah.
Never had nobody to impact their life or anything. So they're just like, they have no sense of love or compassion or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we receive is a blessing. And people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. That literally happened to us yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, we walked into a store and I was like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, terrible.
It's like, how?
How the fuck are you terrible?
If you're able to say terrible, you're doing great. You know what I'm saying?
Right, dude. Any day above ground is a good day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try to count my blessings as much as I can. But But I think sometimes, dude, and maybe you can give a perspective on this. Like, comparison is a thief of joy, right? And it's like, especially with social media nowadays, and I think has to do a lot with the entitlement. Is we're always seeing like these 5-second clips or 15-second clips of how great people's lives are, and we only compare ourselves or see that, and when you start to second guess or you start to think about your life. Because you don't see everybody else's struggle. You know what I mean? Like, nobody saw you when you were like in prison or trying to get out of prison or dealing with all that shit. You know what I mean?
Man, like, listen, man, people have no clue. Like, it's a lot of things that I'm blessed for that are happening in my life, or even just being able to do certain things or go to certain places. But it's like, you don't know what I was going through to actually be able to do that.
Right.
Like, even the prison thing, like me being from Nevada and then having to be around all California, like, prisons in California are crazy, and it's a lot of politics, and it's just like people have no idea what I had to go through to be able to get out and be able to be like, I can call this person, and they'll look out when I get to LA. But it's like, I went through all this time in prison and had to deal with all the shit that comes with it, and now it's like things are cool. So people are like, man, you lucky you get to go to LA. This person,
yeah,
like, motherfucker, you have no idea what I had to go through to get these type of connections. Or get this type of love, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People look out for me and stuff like that. So,
how did you, like, I guess, make a name for yourself? Like, was there like a deciding, or not a deciding, but like, was there like a aha moment that kind of like
far as what?
Like, as far as, getting heavily known in the music industry or becoming a part of,
I'd say when I first started, and a lot of people just knew me in general. So we had when I first started, of course, it was selling a lot of dope, getting money or whatever. And like when I got signed to Rick Ross, I met Rick Ross. I was driving a Phantom.
How?
You know what I'm saying? Like, how was I driving the Phantom? I had it. You know what I'm saying? But so that was what caught his eye. It's like, this nigga's in the Phantom. You know what I'm saying? So it was already money getting made and stuff like that. And so
can we touch on that a little bit, actually? Yeah. So you said it caught his eye, of course, because you were driving the Phantom, right? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of social media stuff and like trying to get attention, which I think is important. It's like a part of building your personal brand by having the nice cars and the nice jewelry and all that stuff. Yeah. Do you think it is? Would you recommend it to other people?
Right now, back then, yeah. Right now, you don't need it because there's so many different genres and stuff like that. It's a cool look for some people, but I don't think it's needed as much as it was at the time. It happened for me. I don't think it was, but that's what it caught his eye, and that's what was catching everybody's eye. It was like the dudes in Vegas with the cars. That's what they used to call the dudes in Vegas with the cars. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think? What do you think is like the eye catcher now? Is it just like authenticity, or?
Well, it's the jewelry, and then like with me, I feel like it's more authenticity because over the years, I've like my knock on wood, but like I've been very fortunate to, like, every city I go to, I tap in with some real dudes, so they see me around like whoever's that guy in the city, which he might not be a rapper, but he might be like, just that nigga in the city, you know what I'm saying? So I've been around these people, they come here, I look out, so people have seen that throughout the years and seen like it's not really too many flaws on my resume as far as the streets go. You know what I'm saying? So people look at that and they just kind of respect it. And then I carry myself a certain way. So if you have that idea about me that I'm a solid dude, I don't think when you meet me it's going to deter.
Right. So it's really all just about relationships, man.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, like building those relationships.
Everything's about relationships, yeah.
How has it been hard to like build relationships inside of like the music community, or is the music community kind of all, I guess, the same different. From, because going from prison to being into like a community of music.
There's a guy named Big Block, right? He's in Atlanta. He does a lot of music and stuff. He's like my big bro. He told me something I'll never forget. And when he told me that, I started looking at things different. One day we were in Atlanta, and he pulled me into the backyard. He said, "Man, let me talk to you." I was like, "All right." And he said, "Man, I've been doing this for a long time." Because, he brought out Jeezy and stuff like that. He brought out a lot of artists. He's like, "Man, you a real solid individual. You a real dude." I said, "Man, I appreciate that." He said, "You know all them codes and ethics and things you live by?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Forget about it if you want to be in this music industry." I was like, what? He was like, how you conduct yourself, do not expect people to do the same. He was like, these dudes aren't your friends. All you owe them is a verse. That's all you owe anybody, and that's all everybody wants from you.
Damn.
And I was like, damn, okay. And then I sat back and thought about it, and then how things were going and how things are, and I'm like, he's right. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
I still carry myself to a certain conduct, but everything he said was 100% right. So I expect that out of people. So now I know how to act accordingly. So if I do meet a genuine guy while I'm in this or doing this, then I appreciate it and I accept it and I roll with it. But if I meet somebody that's not like that, then it's just like, yeah.
I feel like that's got to be so hard, especially like in business. Because, I mean, going into business, right, being skeptical about the people that you're going to be doing business with, like, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, as far as like a new relationship.
But yeah, but I mean, what's the difference between that and selling drugs?
Between what and selling drugs?
Meeting new people, being skeptical about doing business with them. It's the same thing. Like, you got to remember, I was selling guns.
I guess you're right.
I was selling guns. I didn't know if a motherfucker could get a gun, check it, and then shoot me, and then just take everything. You know, you got to think about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm selling guns to these fools. Like, these fools are getting guns. Like, one time we were taking AKs down there, so they getting the guns, checking them. You know, I go into a house, it's like 15 Mexican dudes in there. It's me and two of my homeboys. And, you know, they don't really, you know, we black. They speak in a whole different language. It's like.
Oh, you didn't even understand?
I don't know what half these fools are saying. And the one dude I do understand, he barely can understand him. You know what I'm saying? Only thing we have in common is we can count.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's the same thing. Oh, only on this side, I'm not really worried about my life so much. You know, so it's kind of like a breather. You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
yeah, I'm just trying to
life's gotten better.
Just trying to like wrap my head around, I think, like the mental state of having to put, because I've never put myself in that position. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So putting myself in that position like over and over and over again, you kind of get numb to it, which is fucked up. And I realize that now. It's like a lot of stuff that I've been numb to over the years is kind of like bad. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I'm trying to get myself out of it.
Like death and.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, somebody dies, it's like, damn. But it's like, damn, it's expected because he's a gang member or he's living this type of lifestyle.
How do you kind of handle that stuff? Because just to be honest with you, like I feel hella guilty because I'm numb to death. Mm-hmm. Like I've lost so many friends and so many family members that like when somebody dies, like I watch people mourn and like grieve and all this stuff, but I don't feel it because I'm so used to it. You ever feel guilty? Like,
sometimes I don't feel guilty, but I kind of look at people and when they're tripping over it, it's kind of like,
I mean, it's expected. Everybody's gonna die.
Yeah, like especially like if it's not somebody like in your initial circle or something like that. Like sometimes people like, you know, especially females will hear about somebody, oh, that's so sad. And I'd be like, I don't even know, dude. Like, who gives a fuck? I didn't know him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I died, he wouldn't have gave a fuck. Like, why should I care about him? Because he had a song or he did this or he did that. You know, who gives a fuck? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's part of life. So, I mean, it sounds cold, but like, if you're not in my initial circle, then I don't give a fuck about you.
That's fair.
I don't care.
Everybody's,
like,
you know?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I haven't had a conversation with you, why should I care about what happens to you?
I don't know. I guess you shouldn't.
A lot of people do, though.
I think it depends on the person, though. Like, are they a good person? Are they a bad person? Like, are they trying to help the people around them? You know what I mean? Like, because stuff happens, like, bad stuff happens to good people. Yeah, but then it's kind of like, fuck, dude. Like,
in my idea, if it's not a kid, I mean, like, if it's not a child or, like, it's fucked up to say, but, you know, females also get a lot of sympathy. You know, we hear like a pregnant woman or a woman, something happens to a woman, like, damn, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
But if it's a guy, it's like, yeah, you know, don't nobody care about men really. It's like
that is kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Women and children. Men we're just here to do work.
I feel like that goes into like the mental health thing too. Like a lot of people don't talk about like men's mental health. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think kids and females are a larger subject. Men's mental health is starting to get talked about a little bit more, you know?
But I still don't think I mean, we're really here just to work.
What do you mean?
Men are here to work, man. We're here to take care of things. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Take care of your family, take care of your kids, take care of your house. If you don't do those things, you're not considered a man. It's like, well, what am I here for? I'm here strictly just to take care of shit.
Right.
To be successful. Like, I have to be successful to take care of shit. So that's what I'm here for.
So speaking of successful, obviously, you know, you make music. You guys obviously do a lot of music videos, which is super cool. How does that transition into like making money? Like, do you make money just from shooting music videos, or is it like sponsorship kind of stuff?
I get, every way I can get money that has nothing to do with sacrificing my manhood, I'm with it. So sponsorships, all platforms, the videos, features. I've been getting into acting, movies, all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know, Vegas is supposed to be becoming like the new Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're starting to like build studios, and a lot of the actors are coming out here.
Yeah, but I think a lot of actors are coming out here because of the price of living.
Oh yeah,
you can get a crazy ass house out here, and you go to LA, you're gonna pay 4 times as much. You know what I mean?
For probably half the property or half the house or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have plans to do any like new acting gigs, like at least on the schedule already, or?
Yeah, I just did a movie. One of the movies I was in should be coming out this month. It's called Justice. I was in this thing street. I've been doing a lot. And then the other one I just did should be out in like June, something like that.
Was it a weird transition going from like rapping to acting? Or was that
not really?
Because you shoot the music videos, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's like
videos and you know, me and LJ try to get super creative with everything we do. You know what I'm saying? Even though people don't appreciate it as much as they should. It's like the more basic video we shoot, everybody loves it. If we put so much time and effort into some stuff, it's like, man, that was cool. I think the most views I went viral off a video that was shot in his garage.
Really?
Yeah. Of course it don't look like it, but I mean, we literally shot it in the garage and shot it in like 15 minutes.
Damn.
And people love it. And it's like one of the top videos I got. You know what I mean?
A music video?
Yeah.
So you're like a one-take Jake.
Man, we did it, and people love it. Then we got videos we've spent days and preparation on, and people are just like, oh, that's cool, but it's not fucking with that. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
I think the algorithms and everything, it's like,
it's
fucking crazy, dude. Like,
people love simplicity. You know what I'm saying? It's easier for them to relate to. It's easier for them to capture. They don't have to think too much.
Yeah.
It's right in their face. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the world's kind of getting... I think as the years go by, the world's dumbing down. So.
Yeah, especially with like everybody's attention span is so short now.
Yeah,
like, you know, I feel like it's ever since TikTok came out, because TikToks were like 15 seconds long in the beginning. Now you could do like 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
but everybody's attention spans are so short. So if your music video isn't like crazy off the beginning, or a podcast, or some kind of like business advice, whatever it is, if there's not like that immediate hook, somebody's just gonna scroll past it.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like hard to catch people's attention. It's not hard. It's harder now than it was before to catch people's attention. Yeah. You know what I mean? What are your plans going forward? Do you got like, as far as like music videos or shooting music?
Well, and you know, that's my job now, man. That's how I make my money. So the music, the movies.
You gonna rap for me?
No,
not right now. Not right now. No, not right now. I mean, for like an intro or something.
Oh yeah, for that. I told you I'd write you a rap, man.
Dude, I can't rap.
I'm gonna write you a rap, and you can rap it.
All right, well, I'll embarrass myself. I'll try.
You might not, man. You might pop off, man.
Wouldn't that be some shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. Dude, I'll try whatever.
The ladies might love you, man. You might have some trouble at home after I write you a rap, man.
No, my wife's cool, man.
I know, but they might be flocking all over you, man. You know, my verbiage is crazy.
I'm all for it, man. I think it would be cool. I mean, we'll give it a try. Dude, we'll have to go check out the studio, and I'd like to like at least see something and then like watch it happen. I'll
be there today. You come today.
All right. I'd like to watch like something be created. You know what I mean? Or maybe come with you guys and check out one of the music videos getting made, because I've never seen anything like that. I think like behind the scenes stuff is cool. You know?
Yeah.
Watch it all come into fruition. For an older version of yourself that might be watching this, somebody that might have just gotten out of prison, or you know, might be looking at a case or whatever, what kind of advice would you give them? That maybe like you would give to an older version of yourself?
An older version of myself?
Yeah, so like things that you know now that you wish you would have known back then. I know I'm putting you on the spot, bro, but like, you take a minute.
I don't know, like, just stay true to yourself, man, and and things will work out. Like, you got to, whatever morals, whatever things you believe by, just stay true to it. Things will always work out for you. You got to have a positive mentality no matter what. Like, you do. Because I think depression is self-inflicted, you know what I mean? People.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like something's wrong, just, it could always be worse. And move on, and things always get better. And I've always had that kind of mentality, you know what I'm saying? So, and things have always worked out. So, I don't know, just stay prayed up and keep moving. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, man.
You got to keep moving. You can't sit still for anything.
Everything happens for a reason, dude.
It does. And sometimes you're ready for it, sometimes you're not, but you got to keep moving. We just watch the thing good. I failed. I didn't work. Good. Now I can get better.
Yep.
It was a lesson. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as losses. It's all lessons.
Yeah. Before we wrap this up, I also want to ask one more thing. What is your idea of, like, because you said, like, depressed, right? What do you think causes depression and anxiety?
It's self-inflicted.
Okay. Because, like,
it's self-inflicted. It's just how you handle it. So depression, like I said, people feel very entitled. So it's like, what are you depressed about? I don't have enough money to do this. Well, do you have all your wants? Or you're depressed about your wants or your needs? Because if your needs are met, you're rich. You know, the difference between a rich man and a poor man is what? It's not his money. It's his mind state. You know what I'm saying? There could be a bum on the corner that built his own house and lives in a box. If he appreciates everything he has and loves everything about his life is going to be great. If he's looking at everybody else, comparing himself to things, then it's going to be horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like happiness is within you, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I need to remind myself of that more.
Yeah, for sure. Like, depression is self-inflicted. You're depressed because I don't have this. And to keep it real, the more comfortable you are, the worse your life is.
What kind of things do you do to, like, remind yourself? Is it like those videos that we were talking about?
Those, and it's just like, I've been in fucked up places, man. I've been homeless before. Like, when I was in prison, I was going to the hole back and forth. Like, that shit can drive a person crazy. You know what I mean? You got to think, like, when I was homeless, I was like, I'm homeless, but I'm alive.
So just counting your blessings.
Yeah, it's like,
focusing on the things that you can be thankful for.
I still walk. Like, I'm homeless, but there's a guy that's homeless that's in a wheelchair.
Right. Dude, that's true, man. Have you ever been out of the country?
Hong Kong, yeah. I went to Hong Kong and Jamaica.
So I went to Costa Rica, and that was one of the first times I've ever, like, left the country and been to an area where there's actual, like, real poverty. And it was crazy to see. There was like 9 people living in a shack with no air conditioning, no car. I mean, no floors in their house, dude. And they were the fucking happiest people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, like, when I was in Jamaica, I remember, you know, I went to the hood parts, you know what I'm saying? And there was kids up there with no shoes on. They didn't have running water in some parts. And I remember this lady cooked this dinner, and, you know, the way they were getting their water from a well and stuff like that, I'm like, they were happy as hell. They had an outhouse. You know what I'm saying? I remember the chick I was with, she wouldn't use the bathroom. She's like, I'm not using that. And I was like, all right, I feel you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, these people were happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, I don't know. It's just like, one time, I used to mess with this girl when I was like 18, 19, right? She was a really, really, like, well-off female. Like, her parents were really rich. And I remember one day we were driving from her house back down to where I lived, right? And I was just watching the whole city just change and go down into depravity. You know what I mean? From where she stayed at to there. And then I remember she was telling me how her sister tried to commit suicide and her dad was stressed out and all that stuff. And while we're driving down, I'm thinking about that. Now I'm literally watching the city go from rich to poor.
Right.
And I'm sitting there in her car. She's driving me down there. And I'm like, dude, like, I get down there, and I'm like, her mom was on dope too, and, like, you know, tried to commit suicide. Like, she had like 3 or 4 people in the family that were trying to kill themselves. And I'm driving down there, and I'm like, my mom has never had nothing that these people have, and she wouldn't think about hurting herself. Never.
Right.
You know what I mean? She loves her life that much, and these people have all this stuff, and they're willing to, like, kill themselves. I'm like, man, that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? So it just puts everything in the light, man. You just got to be appreciative of everything, no matter what it is.
Money isn't everything, dude.
But see, people think it is, and that's the fucked up thing about life. So
money. When I was 21, up until the point where my dad died, right? When my dad died, I had the most money I'd ever had in my bank account at that time. Okay, dude. The money, like, literally, it's like I almost didn't even know it was there because it didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? The things that mattered was, like, I wanted my dad back, like my family, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I understand that people get depressed and focus on, like, oh, fuck, I wish I had this, or I made this mistake, whatever. You know, dude, half of the rich people and extremely wealthy people that we see, probably more than half, are the most depressed.
Listen, I know a lot of people just being rapping and got a lot of money, and that life is some shit. Like, some of these dudes don't have no real friends. Like, they have no real friends.
Isn't that fucking, dude? It just blows my mind though. Like, the revolving circle of the fucking people that don't have the shit want to be like the people with the stuff, and the people with the stuff fucking hate their lives.
Yeah.
I mean,
for real. Like, I think it's like crazy when I see people in their clique of people that they're around changes every couple of years. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, who you trust?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got friends still from middle school.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really fall out. Once I'm a friend with somebody, I really don't fall out with people. Like, I've never really just fell out with people. So it's just like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with them? Like, what's going on? To the point where they're not getting along with people and their whole group of people changes. That drives me crazy. To be around new people every couple of years, new friends, all this every couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But I'm like, I'm kind of wondering both sides of it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, as far as maybe somebody having, like, certain set standards for themselves, and you get around people, then once you get to know them, they start kind of, like, not being the person that you thought.
I don't agree with that because, like, once you have certain standards about yourself, you attract people with those standards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you really do. Like, you know, like LJ, like, he's got certain moral code standards. He ain't did a day in jail. And if somebody that did 35 years in jail, like my partner would meet him, he'd be like, he one of the stand-up niggas he knows. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, like, I love this guy, man.
It's just the morals and standards you live by, and once you guys come together, it just clicks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have any, then you're probably going to involve yourself with people who don't have any also.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like energy attracts itself. You know, a lot of solid dudes often be around a lot of solid people. A lot of people that aren't solid, you know what I'm saying? It's like birds of a feather.
We had a conversation the last podcast that we shot afterwards, and it was so crazy because, you know, he expresses to me all the time how much he appreciates me and all that stuff, and I think that was like the first time that I actually realized that I got the opportunity to, like, express to him, like, dude, like, I don't think you realize, like, I look up to you because he's just such a solid dude, and you don't find that. You know what I mean? Like, this, like, not for nothing, this guy's my biggest supporter.
Yeah,
it's crazy. He believes in me, but having those people around you that are just, like, constantly believing in you and pushing you to be better and, like, dude, try this thing, like, you could do it. You know what I mean? It's fucking very rare to come by, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people, and then you got to figure there's some people in the world that never get that opportunity because they don't give off that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for somebody to believe in you and actually stick around, you have to be doing something good. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people used to be like, oh, you're only successful because you got friends around you. And it's like, bro, my friends didn't, like, I started doing this and working so hard that people started seeing me do it. So they was like, man, the homie's doing a lot of this. So, you know what I'm saying? They gravitated towards it.
Yep.
So it's the same thing with anything you do. Like, once you start pushing yourself and doing stuff, people are going to see that and see it in you. So they come around. The people who don't appreciate that energy, or, you know, people, the haters, whatever you want to call them, they start to fall off. You know what I'm saying? And you never really get to get close to them.
Did you struggle with that at all?
As far as with haters?
No, not haters, but, like, friends falling off from, like, new things that you're trying to do or whatever.
Kind of, sort of, not really though. But I don't know, man. It's just like I've always been around some people who really like, and anything I do, I've always worked hard at it. So anybody that didn't believe became a believer. You know what I'm saying? So if I did start something, it was just like, everything I've always started to go out to accomplish, I've accomplished.
I mean,
that hasn't always been a good thing because a lot of my energy went into bad stuff. But anything that I set out to do, I always end up doing.
What you put in is what you get out, man. Yeah. Damn, dude. Well, I appreciate you coming on, dude. Yeah, I appreciate the time, man. I'm looking forward to hopefully, if we can work something out. Either you write me a rap, dude. I'll try. Or maybe we could make something else happen.
It's all good.
And we'll check out the studio. But I appreciate you opening up, man. And where can people find you?
Man, Yowda, man. Just press YOW anywhere on the internet. If you got Wi-Fi or internet, man, you're gonna find me. YOWDA. And music, movies. Everybody, if you don't like my music, I pay your rent. So I got a bet with everybody out there. If you listen to my music, you got to listen to a whole album though, and you don't like my music, I pay your rent.
Damn,
that's how confident I am in my shit.
Good for you, man. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, make sure you check out Yowda, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. See ya.